Peace and blessings, y'all. How you doing? This is your boy, Gerald. It is Christmas Eve 2014. How is everybody doing? Yes, we are 24 hours before the sacred day, the acknowledgement of the omnipotent, unknown as my Lord Jesus Christ, but I'm also humble to know He is one of many names. So how are you doing? Yeah, here in Virginia Beach, it's the clouds are very low, and I really believe if the temperature was balanced, we would have snow. But in actuality, we have the opposite. It feels like a spring day here. Boy, I gotta love that, right? But needless to say, I wanted to put this video out because, you know, I believe in my spirit that everybody with the intended ear, you deserve to be happy. I'm going to keep saying it until the intended ear hears it. And you know, you'd be surprised what you see on the net. For those who do not know me, my name is Gerald Davis. I am a life coach and aspiring psychologist. I'm actually embracing my journey to become that, and hopefully along the way in the future you will actually see that manifest. So if this is your first time stumbling on my channel, welcome. Thank you, and I hope that whatever you find conveyed in the videos that I place, first of all, nothing is wrote down. It comes from the spirit, and we are all vessels. We are spiritual beings first, but we are also in human form, physical form. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, I've noticed a climate, and I think you've all seen it too, you're feeling it as well, that society, I smile because I'm going to always be optimistic because I can see through it. But society has done everything it possibly could do for the last 45 days to snuff your spirit out, to get you to a place emotionally where everything is mundane or acceptable. But I believe that that has caused a lot of conflict in a lot of people, because deep down inside your moral compass knows what is real from what is reality, what is right from what is wrong. And I also believe that that is why many of you are under duress. You've got this tempest going on in your spirit right now because all you want to do is exhale. You want to breathe. You want to feel free. You want to have peace of mind. Well, I'm here to tell you that's going to come. But to have that, you have to be authentic with yourself. I know for those who have been on this channel, welcome, my family. You must make a conscious decision to fight for your life. And what I mean by that is, it does not matter what the accolades you acquire, the financial status that comes through your merits. If it is not pure, it is not meant for you to have. That is why there is so much going on in our community, in our society, because, you know, I've explained it before. You have a lot of people that are suffering from mental illness. You know, but see, society don't want to tell you that, because society wants to keep you under duress. Because as long as you are not true to yourself, they have a way to trigger your emotions to get you to respond a certain way. So they're not going to support positiveness. They're not going to speak truth. That's why when you look at the news, it's never good. Haven't you noticed that? And every time that you try to get back to yourself, there's always something that will tug at your heartstrings or push down your emotional fiber and makes you want to just scream. But you have allowed your environment to convince you that no matter how vocal you become, no matter how rebellious you think you are, your voice is still not being heard. And I'm here to tell you, the moment that you took your first breath was the moment that your legacy was already written. So there is a responsibility that you fulfill it. So what I'm getting at is this. You are at a crossroads now, right? You realize that some of you realize that the path that you're on feels like a bad hangover. Some of you feel that you have given all that you can give and you're just willing to let go of the rope. Well, make sure that whatever you're going to let go has nothing to do with you, the person. Because, that can be replaced, but you can't. So I'm asking each and every one of you. We're just a stone's throw away from the new year, and I'm going to put a video out that. I'm going to put one out. Trust and believe that. But my focus is to you, the one that is feeling that you're in a valley of pain. Yeah, that one that feels that the only way that it's going to make sense is that you got to be inebriated to get through these next couple of days, because you realize you got to put a face on for your audience. Let me tell you something. If there's no love in there, I don't care who it is, why you there? Why you there? Seriously, why you there? If you can't feel like it's natural for you, you feel like home to you. Because home doesn't mean it's biological, or it may be a community of like-minded people. No. Home is found in your heart, because you feel emotionally safe. If your environment is not fostering that, why are you there? Why? I know somebody right now, you're at the tipping point that you are pulling at straws to keep your sanity in check, because you know that this period of time has a lot of pain connected to it and a lot of sacrificing that was done for the representation of what Christmas is. Don't you realize Christmas lies inside you? Really. It's connected to your spiritual essence, because it's about God. No. I know somebody right now is getting ready to cut this off because they don't want to touch anything that has anything remotely connected to divinity. But let me tell you something. There is a difference between being spiritual and being religious. Don't you realize even the most heinous and evil people can recite that Bible? And some of them can use that against you to play with your mind. Because that's your natural instinct, like, wow, you speak in scripture, and that'll stop somebody cold in their tracks. So, well, and what happens? They use something that they know they shouldn't do, and it's an abomination. And trust and believe when I say this, you got to answer to that. Everything you do, you do understand that. It doesn't matter if you pack your bags and move to Zimbabwe. You cannot run from yourself. It does not matter if, and I'm not trying to make light of this, y'all. Please, I'm not. Because I too was there. I was there. But then, because your higher powers, I know him as my Lord Jesus Christ, had mercy on my heart. See, you looking at a guy, it's no surprise. I suffered from low self-esteem and self-worth for over 27 years in my life. Yes, I did. I did. All I wanted was to feel emotionally safe. All I wanted to do was feel love. But the kicker was, I had to learn through pain. Yes, I did. But guess what? You know what that did? Not only did it make me realize that he was there the whole time to get me through whatever I was being shown, but it also gave me the courage to stand behind my convictions. So therefore, I will never, ever take a spiteful position. I will never judge anyone either. Because at the end of the day, when you take your last breath, we all got to stand before the Maker. And everything that you've done, everything that you've said, every action that was not seen, and every thought that was concocted, that was not from love, you got to answer to that. For those that know what I'm talking about, the Akashic Records, everything you say or do is there. Some we know it is our legacy. But don't get caught up on the descriptive words. You know what it is, because it's connected to your consciousness. You can't pick the bottle up to drink it, to drink the pain away. You can't go look and get high thinking that that's gonna suffice. No. What I need you to do is make a decision right now. Yes. Right now. I need you to be courageous. I know you're hearing me. I know you are. But while you in this spot, while you dealing with this depression, because y'all are, you know, just like you hear the term of being a functional alcoholic. Well, guess what? What you think being bipolar is? What you think schizophrenic is? What you think being a sociopath is? You know, society doesn't talk about that because it will hit home. Because that is something that is going on every day in everybody's household to some degree. But, you know, knowledge is power. You know, you might not know the terminology. You just put that umbrella term, boy, they just crazy. They just bitter. They just going through something. No, they're in turmoil. And misery loves company. So you've got to make a conscious decision. Is your sanity worth it? Is your emotional stability worth it? And you know what's so ironic about it? Oh yeah, I know somebody gonna feel this. Somebody gonna be sitting by the tree tomorrow. Somebody already dealing with it right now. And the person that has hurt you the most is gonna look at you like they did nothing wrong, and they're going to give you a gift like a show to appease everybody else, but you know deep down inside you don't want nothing to do with them, but you don't have the courage to get up out of that. Why? Why? So let's flip it. You've got to make a decision to unconditionally love yourself. You have to make that choice. Either you do the work and embrace that journey, have that courage to take that step, just that first step, and have that other foot follow it. Now be advised when I tell you this. A lot of you are having an awakening now because of the fact that you've gone so far in your life where your emotions are saying, listen, I'm going on strike. I'm not going, and your mindset is like this. You're having a hard time keeping track of what you're doing. That's why your actions physically got you running around like a ping pong ball, only to not accomplish anything. And you're frustrated because the things that you need to say, fear's got you in a grip. Y'all realize there ain't nothing but that devil. I keep trying to tell you, he's like that lion in the brush. He's looking at you, and he's waiting for you to do that one thing that will alter your life forever. You know why you're going through the things that you're going through right now? And I say this out of love, because you're not, and you will not, have the courage to claim your life. Some of you have allowed your environment to dictate what you say and what you do. Is that not a slave? Who is it? Ain't this a flip? It's your body, but you got somebody telling you how to function, telling you how they want to see you. So, whose life are you living? Are you living yours? Or are you living theirs? See, life is not a fantasy. Life is real. It's not going to be what you find on TV. It's not going to be what you see on the blogs. It's not going to be really what you see on here. But you're not going to worry about it for me, because all you're going to find here is love. I'm going to speak my truth, because guess what? I love Gerald Davis. But I also know that everybody eventually will go through their spiritual storm until they make a conscious decision that their life matters. Your existence matters. You can't even think legacy if you're not taking accountability of what you're doing today. I know somebody's saying, well, Joe, you don't understand. If I don't go this route, I'm going to lose everything. But what's the point of living your life if you're living empty? Don't you see it? Look at the celebrities. They're some of the most paranoid people on the planet. And I'll explain, because I'm not going to throw shade on nobody, but I know this. I know that no amount of money in the world can replace you when you're gone. I know that. You see people go off left field and like, why do they do that? Why do they do that? But yet they don't have the courage to tell you why they did it. They just do this. They don't, Talk about synchronicity. So, let me get back to the point. You need to make a conscious decision to walk unconditionally for yourself. Yeah. You got to do it. You can do it. You want that emotional freedom? Well, you got to undo some of the things that you've done. And you start off by having a connection with Him. You want to get yourself right? Speak your truth to Him. As long as it comes from your heart, He hears it. He hears it. You may think that while you're being punished, you might not realize that might be your blessing in disguise, and it's being manifested for you to see what you need to see. For those that might be dealing with mistrust, if they loved you, why can't they speak their truth? Or better yet, why won't they see your work? Because love don't hurt. I know somebody right now, you looking at that bruise that you got on your body, and you doing everything in your power to hide it. Well, you can't hide it from your spirit. You can't hide it from your soul. And you got this emptiness in you. And you actually have the nerve and the audacity to think that, well, you know what? If I take this bottle of pills, the pain will go away. Nope. That's the worst thing you can do. That's the worst thing you can do. I'm going to tell you why. Number one, you cut your legacy short, and everybody that's to come from you, the love that you're supposed to give to them, the knowledge and the wisdom that is supposed to be spoken from you through your experiences. So whatever experience that you went through does not repeat itself. That's what a generational curse is about. And most generational curses, because yes, they exist. Just like demons exist, yes, they do. Some of you looked at them this morning. Some of you slept with them last night. So why are you setting yourself up for failure? I know somebody's saying, well, Joe, you don't understand. All I want is to be loved and respected and appreciated. Someone can actually be honest with how they feel. Why does it feel like I gotta chase them? You ain't supposed to chase nobody but yourself. See, society got you twisted. Y'all playing this game of, okay, I meet somebody today, throw a little seeds of interest today, sit on there and see how bad they're going to call, and y'all play this cat and mouse game only to end up in pain. For what? Come on. If it's all about that, why don't you speak your truth from day one? Say, hey, I like you. Can I sleep with you? You won't do that because you ain't courageous enough to do that. Whatever's done in the dark always comes back, y'all. Don't you realize that? That's your spiritual vibration. You can't run from that. That's you. So if your environment is always jacked up, the people in your environment is disrespecting you or hurting you, that ain't the vibration that you should give off. Because there's only two frequencies that we give off as spiritual beings. Fear, love. Make a decision on which one you're going to ride with. But guess what? Here's a big one. Some of y'all are addicted to pain. You're addicted to pain because that's what you were raised in. That's why when that woman comes into your life, or somehow you are positioned and you meet this woman, and she seems to be squeaky clean. You boring. She boring, and you just kick her to the curb. But you got to pick your mouth up when you run back into it because you didn't realize that you was in the midst of a diamond. But you settle with that cubic zirconia. That all she wants to do is this. She's embracing a false image of herself. She don't even know who she is. And the only reason why she doing it because she see another woman doing it. And she wondering why she ain't got no ring. Because she don't know who she is. You can't find yourself on your back, y'all. It don't work like that. It don't. I'm speaking from experience. I've been there. Learn from my mistakes. Now some of y'all, and I'm not going to take I'm not going to take away from what I'm going to tell y'all, what I'm going to express on 2015 because it's big. But in the end, I know some of y'all are panicking because you guys got to put a face on tomorrow. You got to be around people that you don't want to have nothing to do with because it always plays out the same way. You ain't got to do nothing you don't want to do. You don't. But just know this though. And here's the beautiful thing about it. No matter where you've been, no matter what you've done, you did and have been shown what love is. You've seen it. And just know, the people that truly have your best interests, they never walk with agenda. They're only going to speak truth, but they're not going to interfere in your life. They're not. Because it takes 100% effort to live theirs. And would you really want to hold on to somebody that you can't walk with naturally? Because we all have free will, right? So why are you fighting a battle that you can't win? Why? You know, that's just like, and I'm not bashing, that's no different than a man marrying a woman because of her status or the payday. He don't want to do the work, so he align himself with her so she can play the mule. And he just goes along with the flow. But deep down inside, he miserable too, because he know he ain't supposed to be there. But because he's focused on the outside, not the inside, he can't get what he really needs. So what happens? Life progresses, and they're stuck there until they decide to make the choice to invest in themselves. Some of you right now had to make this choice, and I'm not making light of it because I've been there. You had to invest your time, invest your finances to save face and by buying a gift to somebody that you don't like. Actually, you despise them, but yet you don't have the courage to leave them alone. So you suffer twice. Why? Why? It's okay to love you. You gotta do it, y'all. You're not a glutton for punishment. Now let me go back. Let's go to the root. About 45% of the people that walk on this planet to deal with depression issues is connected to their childhood. There are issues that were never resolved, and because out of fear or lack of communication, you never got the resolution that you needed for why. You actually got a watered down excuse. You know, they tell you this: move on. You're being weak. But who are they to tell you how you feel? Who are they to dictate how you're supposed to think and act? You're not a robot. You're not a pawn. And I think a lot of you are waking up and saying, you know what? This is not the life that I intended. You're going to do something about it. So I'm going to tell you this. You throw this out here because I know that somebody right now is thinking, well, you know what? I'm going to make a conscious decision to get towed back. You're going to drink yourself to a stupor and try to sleep through tomorrow. You're going to try to do everything in your power to avoid yourself of emotionally connecting to this day. Why don't you make this time that you make a conscious decision that this will be the last time you feel the way you do. Because they call you their friends or they're your family, it doesn't mean that they automatically respect you. Or worse, they love you. You got family members that can't stand each other. They can't stand you because they want to control you, and you're not letting it go down. What I'm describing is a person that has narcissistic traits. If you guys don't know what narcissism is, NPD, go up here, look it up. Some of you guys may have been raised in a household or may have had relationships with people that had these traits. These are people more or less that wear masks constantly. They are the master of deflecting responsibility, and they have no remorse in what they do. They actually think that whatever sacrifice that has to be made for the end result justifies the action. These people are actually in turmoil. You're actually watching someone die slow. That is why, unfortunately, when you do hear about things happening, in the back of your mind you say, well, it didn't surprise me. And then there's sometimes you see the people that are affected from that, and you're like, well, why did they choose this route? Because they were in pain. They were afraid. They were afraid to be honest with themselves. They were afraid to address whatever situation because they felt that the environment that they were in, they could not get out of it. This is very prevalent in the black community. This is also very prevalent worldwide. So, if you're going through something, it is very important you speak your truth. If you're afraid to speak your truth because you feel that your environment is toxic, come up with a plan of exit. By you staying there, there's no loyalty in pain. Do you know that? There is none. And when it comes to your house, when it comes to your life, there should be one requirement: to be happy at all costs. So, when you make that choice, thank you, my angels, you're going to lose some associations. You're going to have people look at you like you're crazy because they want the old person back, the person that was controllable. So, when you start to claim yourself, you're forcing them to make a choice. Some won't. But just know, what must go makes room for what is needed. Because you're loved. My kings, there's no future, man, in holding that pain you holding. I know society has convinced us that if you embrace your emotions, you're less of a man. No, that makes you a fool. Because you cannot call yourself a man until you embrace who you are from the inside out. That's why you got that last name. I know somebody's saying, well, nah, man, you sounding like a simp. Let me tell you what, brother. My job is to love myself and protect my legacy and claim it. And then you can't claim that when you shackled. You actually attract the same people that are going to hold you back. And guess what? There is no loyalty, because after they've gotten what they think they needed from you, they're going to leave you alone. So, if you think you got friends because you got some paper in your pocket, or you got a status, I'm sorry to tell you, brother, you don't. You don't. All you've done is allow yourself to violate your personal boundaries. You're in the midst of nothing but opportunists. Because see, a real friend, they will always have unconditional love for you, and they want the best for you, even if that means they can't walk with you. But guess what? Even if you gotta shut some doors, even if you got to, guess what? Divinely, he's gonna get his way. You can't run. Look, come on, man. Think about it. The moment that you realize that your life is under his guidance, you'll stop leaning on your understanding, because it's not working. If you feel like you're constantly taking an L just because you're there, you ain't supposed to be there. And more importantly, They're not going to tell you that. Because if they tell you the truth, they know you're going to leave. They know you're going to be offended. Because you have every right. Because guess what? You are supposed to protect your personal boundaries. But you can't do that until you love yourself. That's what being a man is about. That's what being a woman's about. Being able to stand tall by yourself. That's why it's called integrity. My queens, for those that all you want is to look at your finger and have that band of gold. You've been praying on it for so long, but you keep getting bad auditions. You know what I mean? Because when it comes to being yoked, that is a position for one. But you will have many people audition for the role, the part. Just make sure that who you want to walk with, they're spiritually grounded, and they will not compromise that just to be with you. Really. And yes, you're going to get some flack. People are going to look at you like, why are you acting the way you are? Why are you saying what you're saying? Why are you on this spirituality thing? Those are the people that don't have a connection. Take heed. Take note. If they're only coming around because they benefit from your time and everything that comes with it, there's your red flag. You don't believe me? Close the shop down and see what happens. So my queens and my kings, keep your head up. This is going to be the last Christmas that you go through this burden. Because I believe that next year, there's going to be a major shift in your life. Yes, you're going to have to shake some folks. No, you ain't got to do that. Just do what I always tell y'all every 6 months. You go in this thing right here, and you look at every one of them. And you ask yourself, does this person see my worth and value? How important is that a connection? And if there's no growth in there, if there's no genuine love in there, or if it feels like it's set by an ultimatum of, well, if you don't, well, you know, if you don't pay my bills, I won't talk. Why they there? They don't deserve to be there anyway. They don't. You're not no ATM. Come on now. Come on, queen. Stand up. Stop using your body as a bargaining chip. You got one body. It's got to last your lifetime. Stop giving it away to people that will never appreciate you. And trust when I believe when I say this. When you guys decide to make that choice, you're going to embrace your journey. And you're going to see things that you've never seen before in your environment. You're going to feel things inside you that you've never felt. And trust and believe when I say this. The devil's work is never done, because guess what? He wants everything, he wants everything in his power to keep you miserable. Miserable. So guess what? You're going to have to go through that season to learn to be strong, because you're going to have people come back from the dead, test your emotions. All I'm asking for each and every one of you to do. And you take all the time you need to heal. There's no stopwatch when it comes to your life, but it is your requirement to be responsible and govern it. Heed the word of a brother. I'm telling you. Because you deserve to be happy. You deserve it. Stop allowing society to tell you what to say and do. My queen, to get back to what I was saying. Remember I keep telling you to prepare? Because I'm going to tell you something, and I say this out of love. If you want that long, luxurious, beautiful hair that you're spending your money on, let your crown come from within. Do you realize every woman that has made a choice to embrace herself, her hair grows quick? You learn things about yourself. There's things about you don't even know. Naturally, because it requires you to be still emotionally. If you're going through something traumatic and you still don't have the courage, and I'm not saying because your emotions are going to do this. They are. They are. I'm letting you know that. Go spend $1. This is one of the best investments you can ever do. You go buy yourself a little notebook. And whatever you're feeling at that moment, you write it down. Write it down. That's right. Your good days, your bad days, whatever. Write it down. Get it out. If you guys are not being active, hey, why don't you consider working out again? You can do calisthenics at the house. Let's go for a walk. Meditation is great, but a conversation with your higher power is even better. See, I stay prayed up. I stay prayed up. I praise God first for everything I do. Therefore, I don't walk in fear. I don't worry about it because I know I'm protected. You've got angels and spirit guides that are with you. They only want to catapult your life to its rightful place, but you got to be able to claim it. You got to be able to claim it. You ain't going to find that on your back. You're not going to be able to embrace that on that stolen moment, knowing that guy don't care about you. He ain't thinking about tomorrow because he's living now. As long as he can hold on to now, he's going to ride that till the wheels fall off. No different than that woman. She ain't thinking about next week because guess what? Next week she's going to be with somebody else. Then life is not a candle in the wind. Come on now. I love each and every one of you. Now, real talk, and I'm going to wrap this up. For those people that have been trying to deal with their emotional state because you've had so much trauma in your life from a childhood, through the disappointments, through your teens, and even in your where you're at now. Give yourself the greatest gift you're going to ever give yourself. And that's to be authentic. If you don't feel, if your environment, first of all, your environment's not what you need because you're going through what you're going through. So what I'm going to say is this. If you got medical insurance, if you're working a job, you got benefits. You know your benefits will offer you 2 sessions to meet with a counselor, to meet with a psychologist. I know somebody right now, I ain't going to do that because I ain't crazy. No. See, that's ignorance right there. It's about making your life better than what it is because you're stressing right now. You're stressing. You turn around and you're eating, and it's putting weight on you. You got to take those pills because it's your stress. It's about getting balance and validation. If you don't want to do that, why don't you take a ride down to your local church? Make an appointment with one of the clergymen and express yourself. The worst thing they're going to do is tell you the truth. But be prepared to hear it. Because your life, y'all, your life matters. Make this the last holiday that you shed a tear in pain. You share a tear in regret. You walk in a path of denial. And stop worrying about what your girlfriend's doing. Because they're not worrying about what you're doing. They just as miserable. Hello? I know I'm talking to somebody. You deserve to be treasured. You deserve to be respected. and you deserve to be loved. But they all start with you. He's waiting on you, y'all. What you waiting on? Answer the call. I guarantee the moment that you do, your life will be changed. Have courage. You deserve it. Alright, y'all. I gotta go. You have a blessed Merry Christmas. And hit me in the bottom. As I always say, God is praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. No more depression. This is the last moment that you're going to claim a burden that ain't yours. And for that, it helps me discern mine. You guys are worth it. It's time for you to step into your life and claim it. Ain't nobody can do it but you. Love to hear from you. Bye.